guys, welcome back to my channel. So for starters, I have a few things to mention. One, yes, I'm still getting over my cold. That's why it sounds just like this. I know it's horrible. Two, I know you guys are wondering what's on my lips, and it is ColourPop. Did I just do two? It is ColourPop's Friday. I have it right here. Amazing. I love it. I didn't even have to use any type of lip liner underneath it, so I definitely would recommend checking it out, especially if you're into one of these like bold, not the usual type of lips. And three, I am having a giveaway after this story time, so if you're interested in seeing what I am going to be giving away, definitely keep on watching. But I figured I'd do the story time for you because I haven't had a story time up in a while, and I know you guys love my story times, so I figured I'd do that for you. I plan on having story times up every other week because I don't have enough stories to do for every single week, at least not yet. I mean, maybe something interesting or crazy will happen where I'm able to actually have a story up every single week, but as of right now, every other week is what it's going to be. So this video is definitely crazy, and as usual, I'm going to give you a little bit of background so that way you can understand exactly where this story is coming from. To get started, as you guys already know from my previous videos, I was homeschooled. I have been homeschooled from pre-K or whatever, from birth basically, all the way until college. So except for college, I went to college. So all the way through till high school, I was homeschooled. And when I reached high school, I did not like being homeschooled at all. I was ready to go to public, private, any type of school. I was just ready to get out of my house. But of course, that did not happen, and I stayed throughout high school being homeschooled. So just like any teacher, everyone has their strong points. And for my mom, it was English. She was an amazing English teacher. Even now, I absolutely love English because of her. And so yeah, whenever English would come, I would read like crazy. She'd teach me everything straight from the book. You know, she would be basically my educator with English. But when it came time for algebra and pre-algebra and calculus and, you know, chemistry, all that type of stuff, it wasn't her strong point. So basically what happened was, during that time, there was a publishing company called Abeka, and this is where my mom would get all of the books for homeschooling and things like that. And Abeka also had this system where once you reach high school, and I think they had it for younger grades as well, but they would have DVD types, well back then it was VHS, but they would have VHS videos of every single lesson being taught by a teacher at one of their private schools. And so basically you could have pre-algebra all the way from the very first day of school to the very end being taught by a teacher, so you could watch exactly how a teacher taught it within a private school. Of course, it did have its negative downfalls because you weren't able to actually ask the teacher any questions. If you had it, you basically had to sit like a fly on the wall watching the teacher teach a class about whatever specific topic you were watching. So basically, my mom did this for all of our math as well as most of our science. I want to say she did it for biology, but I do remember she did it for chemistry vividly. And I used to hate it. Like the very first two classes, I remember I was thinking, I can get this, I can get this. And they lost me at the third class all the way to the end. Chemistry was never for me. In fact, I can honestly tell you after those first two videos, I don't remember what was taught in chemistry. The only thing I probably would know on that periodic table, and even if it's called that, was I would say H2O. And yeah, I cannot tell you any other symbol and sign for anything like that. No, is P potassium? And if it is, then props to me because I don't know it. Maybe I'm going off the top of my head or I'm hearing it from the other class next door that I teach at. But let me tell you, I don't know anything about chemistry. So it was to the point where what my mom would do was she would put a chemistry tape in, you know, give us our book. Well, actually me, because I was the only one in that specific grade at that time. She would give me my book and then she would leave the room. And she would go to help my sister with her class or whatever my sister was doing because we were both being homeschooled at the same time. And so while she had left the room, and I do not recommend this if you are homeschooling because obviously this is what happens if you don't listen to the teacher or listen to the video. While she left the room, I had a little TV that had the VHS in there, and while it was playing, you can easily switch the channel. So instead of watching channel 3 where the VHS was playing, I would change the channel to any type of channel that was on right then. So we didn't have cable, so what we would be watching was any type of basic channel, which would be 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. I remember I would always change it to channel 11, which was WB then, and around that time Murray was always on, or Maury, however you say his name. Maury was always on. It got to the point where I knew who every baby daddy was and who was not the father. That's how many times I watched the Maury show. I remember they would have in all these snakes coming in and crazy animals, and I remember they'd even have psychics coming in sometimes. But I was obsessed with Maury. Like, I used to watch him so much because to me he was interesting, and that was the exact time I should have been watching chemistry, but I was watching him instead. And I'm actually not proud of this, but this is actually how I found out about 9/11. I was actually watching TV when I should have been doing my schoolwork. And I remember my mom had actually went to the doctor's that day, and my sister was doing her schoolwork because she was good at 2 shoes, but she was doing her schoolwork, and when it happened, I had, you know, the news played all of a sudden and cut off whatever I was watching. And I told my sister, and she thought I was lying, and she wouldn't even come to the TV because she thought I was just like trying to trick her into watching whatever I was watching. But yeah, so basically I don't recommend not listening to your parents, because obviously you should, and I should have, because it would have saved me in the future, hence what's going to happen inside of this story. So fast forward to, I want to say it was 2013, and I remember I had just moved down to Delaware with my husband. We had been here a couple of months, and we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. So obviously there was someone who had previously lived in the apartment. The apartment was very nice. We lived on the 3rd floor. It was just a really nice apartment compared to every other type of apartment that was in that area. Well, I don't know how to say it, but it was just a nice apartment. So basically, the one thing about this apartment that bothered me though was whoever had the apartment before us, somehow they weren't very good with cleaning their toilet, because there was a light yellow ring around the toilet. And you know how that is, where after a while it leaves a stain and you cannot get it out. No matter what I did, I scrubbed and scrubbed and it would not come out, to the point where I even remember I got I bought one of those plastic gloves, and then I also bought like a Brillo, and I was scrubbing around the tub trying to get it out with bleach. It would not budge for the world. So basically, it's been a few months since we lived in the apartment. I was trying everything I could. I was on Pinterest. I even made this concoction that I found on Pinterest that was like vinegar and baking soda or something else, and it was supposed to really help to like clear everything. And I even bought one of those type of bottles that you could use for cleaner inside of Walmart, where you put whatever inside of that bottle and spray it, and you got your own little cleaner mix. So I did that for a few months and it didn't work. And I remember this was around the time that I had became pregnant with Layla, and I was pregnant and I was cleaning, and Sean was, I want to say he's 2.5 then, so whenever I would clean up the bathroom, or you know, any type where there would be chemicals around it all, he was never in that room. So this was actually inside of the master bathroom. So while I was cleaning up the master bathroom, he was in my room, and I had like Barney going on for him or something like that, so he could watch it and he wouldn't be distracted and trying to get in the way of me cleaning and getting around the chemicals. So I was cleaning up as usual, and I pulled out my regular little concoction of like vinegar, and I forgot what else I put in there. I know it was vinegar. Oh, vinegar, dish detergent, and what was the last thing? Maybe it was just water, but vinegar, dish detergent, water, or baking soda, one of those things. I had mixed it up there, and I'm like, this is getting annoying. I cannot clean it. I even had called my mom previously, and she was like, what you need to do is very slowly, you know, pour bleach inside of the toilet and just let it sit there overnight and it should go away. That didn't work either. So I was like, you know what? If I'm hearing vinegar really works and I'm hearing bleach really works for my mom, I was like, why don't I just put them together and try to work it out? You know, maybe it'll work and it'll just be amazing, because I know bleach is great, because bleach bleaches your clothes and makes it white, and this is what I want this toilet to be. I just want this toilet to be white. And so I was like, well, let me use the vinegar too, because obviously vinegar is all over Pinterest of using within the bathroom. So to me, I just had this smart idea, very smart, about mixing bleach and vinegar together. So I remember I poured about, like, I want to say this much vinegar, or was it the bleach first? I think it was the vinegar. I poured that much vinegar in there, And then I got the bleach and I poured it in. Well, first I emptied that little thing I bought from Walmart. It was about probably that tall. And well, actually, yeah, it was probably that tall. And then what I did was I poured half of it with vinegar, and then I decided to pour the other half with bleach. So once I started pouring the bleach in, and I remember it got to like a halfway point where it was probably about this much mixed together, and the bottle was like this, I want to say this wide, this much. So yeah, it was enough. It was a decent amount. So I poured them both together, closed up the top. Mind you, I didn't smell anything then, maybe because I poured it fast, I don't know. But I closed up the top, and then I decided to shake it. Now, as soon as I shook it, it fizzed kind of like a soda would, like a soda bottle. And I'm like, that's weird. Maybe it's just doing what it's got to do. You know, it's working its magic inside of this bottle. So I shook it some more. And then what I did was I sprayed a little bit inside of the toilet. And what happened was I didn't really smell anything. And so I'm like, this is such a little bit amount. I feel like it's not working. I'm thinking to myself, well, let me just pour it like my mom said to pour with the bleach a little bit just to make it sit overnight. And I said, and let me just pour all of this into the toilet. And so then I'll let it sit while I clean the tub and clean the rest of the bathroom. So I opened up the bottle and I poured it all into the toilet. As soon as I poured it into the toilet, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I thought I was going to die. It was like this smell came out of nowhere, and it was so toxic. When I'm not even lying to you, I felt it in my lungs. I felt like I had just drank bleach. And then not only that, I felt like every nose hair was inside, like it was just gone. Like I just felt like it had just like either ran out, fell out, I don't know what happened to it, but I just felt like my nose was gone. I could not breathe. I felt like I was tasting bleach. It was just so much was going on at once. And I felt like I was gonna pass out. I will never forget that. I felt like I was gonna pass out. And it took everything inside of me to get out of that bathroom and slam the door. So I'm over here, mind you, choking. I ran into the I ran into the kitchen, and I had Sean running with me because I picked him up. I ran into the kitchen, grabbed a glass of water, and then I started drinking it because, like, mind you, my throat is on fire, my lungs is on fire. I'm thinking I'm dying. And then on top of it, because all of this smell is all around me, because I'm thinking it's all around me, but it's literally just inside of my nose and my lungs. I'm opening up every single window inside of this apartment because I think I'm gonna die, and I'm thinking, you know, Sean might smell this. So after I run around opening up every single window, mind you, it was in January, but it was a warm January. It's kind of like what it is now. It was like 50 degrees. I opened up every single window, turned the AC on in the apartment because I'm like, there's no way we have this heat going with everything around here. We need to get this air out of here. So I turned the AC on. I went to the patio because then we had like a patio, like a balcony. Took Sean, sat outside with him there, and I remember he was happy because he had his little tricycle out there, and you know, I put on his coat and everything, and he's playing on his tricycle. I remember laying out on the ground in the balcony, just looking up, thinking to myself, I'm probably going to pass out right here. Like, that's how bad it was in my throat and everything. Like, I literally remember calling my husband and telling him, like, listen, if I pass out, I'm on the patio, you know, so he knew where I was. That's how bad it was. And I know I'm sounding dramatic, and I don't know how to explain it because every time I tell people, they're like, oh, I want to try it. I'm like, don't you dare, because that's literally how bad it smells. And I remember telling my sister, and she was even like, you know, I know you're telling me the truth, but I want to see what you're talking about. And I'm warning you, don't you ever mix bleach and vinegar together. So where's my phone so I can even tell you exactly what I found online about basically what it said. Because I know some people are probably going to be like, oh, you know, she's being over dramatic, you know, it's not how it is, it's not that bad. Okay, so it basically says, it's giving me all of these chemical things, and you know, I don't know what they're talking about, but it's a strong oxidizer. This is what makes it so good at bleaching and disinfection. If you mix bleach with an acid, chlorine gas will be produced. For example, it's going through all these things. Chlorine gas attacks, like I did, if I made a gas, like bomb attack thing, it's such as it attack, oh, okay, so the bomb, what I made, it's gonna attack my eyes, my throat. I remember it did attack my eyes and they were like burning. Eyes, throat, and lungs, and can kill you. So causing that reaction isn't in your best interest. So basically mixing all of this is kind of like making the type of bomb. They even put it on one of the forums I read when I was online. They said it was kind of like one of those bombs that Hitler used for the Jews, but I think he used bleach and ammonia or something like that. So mine wasn't as toxic, but basically it's toxic. Mine could kill you, but it's a strong amount, and mine obviously wasn't that strong. Like if I had stayed in that bathroom, I could have killed myself basically. So and to make matters worse is this happened, I want to say it happened like on a Thursday or Friday. Literally for an entire week I could still taste bleach. I could still smell it in my nose. It was so bad, an entire week. Like, you think I'm joking? I'm so serious. It was an entire week. I could taste it and smell it. It was just that bad. And the thing is, I think because I was so close with cleaning it that I literally had poured it in and it was like it came up at me. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I had like a big gust or smell or whatever. I had a big, it was horrible. It was horrible. So basically, the moral of this story is to listen to your parents if they tell you to do your work, because obviously they're trying to teach you to learn something, and that's what I should have done in the first place, because I would have known vinegar and bleach do not mix. I forgot to mention that I did flush the toilet, I want to say right after I opened the windows, and it was only in the toilet for about 3 minutes, but it did get out that stain, and it was the whitest that toilet was ever. And of course, thankfully it never affected Sean or Layla. So yeah, basically that is my story where I accidentally made a gas bomb, and yeah, I don't recommend trying it. Please do not try it, and if you did try it, I'm going to tell you right now you are stupid, because I already told you not to try it. But yeah, that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So now for the giveaway, I feel like I need to do a giveaway for you guys because I haven't been on here for so long, and it's kind of like my apology for you guys or to you guys. And yeah, I plan on making videos more often, which I have been doing, but I do want to make a giveaway just to thank you guys for still staying subscribed and just waiting around for my videos. So I figured what I'd do is I would have 2 winners for this giveaway, and just like always, it's going to be an e-gift card, but I'm going to list down below the choices you can have. So whether you want MAC or Sephora, it's up to you, and I'm going to put them down below, but there's going to be a few different choices for you to pick from. I think I'm going to put in Forever 21. It all depends, but the list will be down below either way. And it's going to be 2 winners, and each winner will receive a $25 gift card to whatever they want in the choices of the e-gift cards down below. What I'm going to do is have the giveaway start today and end the 16th of February. So there are 3 things you're going to need to do for this giveaway. One is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, and then lastly, just comment down below what type of story time you would like to see next. I don't want to say this giveaway is open internationally, but if your country accepts the e-gift card of your choice, then of course you can enter. I definitely don't mind. You guys can also enter as many times as you would like, so make sure to comment down below each time that you are doing so. Also, I plan on having different giveaways every time I hit a different milestone, and I have them listed below on what I will be giving away at each specific time down below. So if you want to check that out, definitely check it in the description box, and I will have all the information for this giveaway as well as that down below. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and I definitely hope you guys were smarter than me with your chemicals. Thanks guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and of course I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.
She just wants to be beautiful. She goes unnoticed, she knows